What I really enjoyed about joining Cummins was you get the team environment right up front.
One of the things that stood out for me during onboarding was watching J. Irwin Miller and his work with the Civil Rights Movement. Watching him march with Dr. King was actually a very good moment to see.
Some of the words that I could use to describe my onboarding experience is history. The focus on the history of Cummins from the moment that the company started, and in terms of how it started through the civil rights era and even through present time.
My first day on the job, I was immediately assigned a project for the engine business unit and for the distribution business unit for a genset. If I hadn't gone through onboarding, I would have no idea what EBU, DBU, and genset will stand for.
I started out and wanted to be an accountant. But what I realized is I really like to look at the data, but then I also really like the interaction with people. So I thought supply chain was probably the best fit for me.
The fact that I get to work with my numbers and come up with solutions and recommendations so that the leadership can take on this and actually make people work towards getting our supply chain working better, that excites me.
As an organization, we are all inclusive, and it's very important that we don't discriminate against anyone regardless of anything. And that's really important because what you want is you want people with their natural talents, the best people, to come to your organization and not feel like they can't thrive there. And that's a big part of it.
As a member of the LGBT community, I could say that because I work in the state, that Cummins defends my right to work, to live, to worship in this space. When I go to an event, I'm always proud of my company. I'm always proud to mention Cummins for that very reason.
One of the things that I like about Cummins is I like seeing a lot of diverse folks in some key leadership positions.
Coming here and seeing that a company like this, a big company like this, has women in STEM fields, in high positions, in leadership positions, and not only in human resources, but in data-driven, analytical-driven, fields like supply chain, is very important for me.
Every single project that I work on, every single new process that I have a role in helping to define, creates an opportunity for my next role. So it's through that collaborative environment that we create that network.
I think through collaboration, right? You get to work with many different people across many different spaces, and then really work together to actually solve a common problem or design a new process or product.
In every one of my projects, I get to interact with other functions. I can look at the numbers and come up with something, but it has to make sense. And to do that, I need to get validation from every other function, from manufacturing, from finance, from planning and logistics, from warehousing, from transportation. Cummins is ingrained in the culture of the town, and we are very community-oriented.
I participated in Earth Day events, and what's interesting is to be able to go out into the community and talk about how a diesel engine company has an impact on the environment. To have that conversation at an Earth Day event it can be pretty profound.
The idea of integrity and hard work and personal sacrifice were things that I already knew existed. So before I came on board at Cummins, I knew that I would have no problem fitting in with the value structure that was in place here.
We like to be very customer-oriented, and it's something, again, that every single day in my job I get to do.
I think the main thing to focus on in your daily work is putting the customer first. I think by doing that and making sure that everything that you do every day is adding value to our customers.